Hobby now. It's ZiggyNo. Today is March 27th, 2024, and we're talking about the latest in the sports card hobby. A lot going on last week, personally and in the hobby world. We're going to talk a little bit about that. First of all, I'll just mention a week ago, I had my big hit after this show. I think I actually posted this show and I did a live show with Mike Ham last Wednesday night. That night, I'm sitting there ripping through some packs and I hit the biggest hit of my life, which was a interesting story. In fact, I have another video coming up on that. Um, it's been an emotional week in the hobby for me. I'll say that. I also last week submitted my Connor Bedard Young Gun to PSA. I will share the reveal of that in this video with you today. Um, got signed up for my PSA membership, submitted a bunch of other cards. So just got the PSA ball rolling. Quickly, reminder, Steve is doing the contest. Yeah, following Flipping Steve, go do that. It's a contest for sending someone to the National. We're going to talk about the Kurt's Card Care Madness. Actually, it's very relevant and it's a very heated topic this week. I was remind you, Leaf did an exclusive with a high school football player, which I thought was interesting. Triple Crown had some really good videos out this week on influencers and on what to do at a card show. Um, are we all Eric Whitebacks? Which that's not even his name. Did you know that's not even his name? That's amazing. Smart young man. Um, the Bronny dual Bronny sold for 114,000. Betting Otani, CGC, JSA. A little bit of information on that. Um, we'll talk a little about bad actors in the hobby, and then we'll talk about Wimby and these big hits and how is the hobby supporting all this? And where's all this money coming from for it? I guess is the question. So if you haven't already, sit back, grab some popcorn, grab a drink. I appreciate you being here at Hobby Now. Thank you. Thanks to all my sponsors, which there are absolutely none. But I do shout out companies that I use, and you'll hear more about that. Let's jump into this. Let's start talking about the Kurt's Card Care. Kurt's Card Care Madness. I'll tell you, here's what I want to bring up to that. I saw a great interview with him on Sports Card Madness. And I've been critical of Sports Card Madness. These are the guys who interviewed the mythical, magical wizard grader that told the worst stories you could ever hear about grading. It's ironic that I'm being that critical because now I want to throw up when I think about it. But anyway, he did a really good interview with Kurt's Card Care. Made me subscribe to Kurt's Card Care, his channel. Been watching his videos. First of all, let me not knock the guy for making a living off this shit. He's making, I mean, that's his job. He makes Kurt's Card Care. I thought it was like he just does a hustle and he throws it out to a few people, but he's made a business out of this. And let me applaud all those who've actually taken the initiative and made a business out of sports cards, whether it's Mr. Minty or Slabs Dudes or, Slides or whatever the hell it is. Making something out of the hobby and making a product, making a business. The Zion case guy, it goes on. So I definitely applaud the hustle of people who do that. But it made me think to myself, and I've said this before, we're fools if we don't think that people are doing this to their cards, right? I'm going to give you an example, and I'll tie this into the end. But when I got my card, when I hit my big Wemby card last week, I didn't even cross my mind to wax it, polish it, do anything like that because I didn't want to take the chance of fucking it up, right? If you watch the video, as soon as it happens, I put the card down. Then I actually went and got my gloves on because when I'm going to prepare a card, I use gloves so I don't get fingerprints on it. And I checked the card out, made sure there's no fingerprints, wiped it down, sleeved it. There was nothing wrong with that card. Should I have Kurt's card cared it? In retrospect now, and I'm not going to tell you why, but in retrospect now that I have the grade back, which I'm not going to share with you in this video, I should have Kurt's card cared, bitch. I mean, why did I not? Why did I not do that? That's a big card. We're talking about $1,000 or more in value with a PSA 10. Why would you not, Michael, take the time and Kurt's card care that? There's no law against it. It's not illegal, right? And also, this, even if I didn't do it, why didn't I send someone else to do it? Why didn't I ship it off to somebody else to do it? The answer is I believe some ethical bullshit, like somebody's watching over me and that's the wrong thing to do. But it's what people are doing. The guy who got his PSA 10 black Luca or black Wimby is not going to cry at night. He's not going to sleep any harder at night because he used Kurt's card care. I should have used Kurt's card care. And and I have to say this too. I don't know if this is good or bad. I mean, there's so many voices, Rovell, Jeff Wilson talking about, yeah, you should be able to clean your card, prepare your card. One of my best comments I heard Jeremy Lee saying, Jeremy Lee does not support card alteration. Did say, isn't a crease an alteration of the card after the pack? Like comes out of the pack and you bang it or drop it, you altered the card. That wasn't its intent. That wasn't its factory condition. So if you reverse the alteration, is that okay? And this stuff just drives me crazy. It wasn't until, again, I have my own big card that I think about that. Let me take a second and share with you my reveal of my Bedard card. Here we are. I shared this with you because I'm not going to share the other card with you yet. This is the Bedard card. I did not Kurt's card carry this thing either. Like, should I have Kurt's card carried this? Should I put this away? Should I have done something to this card as well? I don't know. I did not do that. I got an 8 on my young gun. Now it's a paper card. It's definitely more condition sensitive. I can kind of stomach an 8. It sucks to get an 8. Like, and I'll even say this too. Some people would argue, well, crack it, Ziggy, and you could sell it raw for more than an 8. Probably could. I don't think I'll do that. I think I will sell it as an 8. And if someone else wants to crack it and doctor it and, Kurt's card carry it, I won't be surprised if that happens. It hurts me. I'm not going to share. Here, I'll just share with you this. This is the video here. You can see me looking at the card. There's my glove on. My hand without the glove. I have the sleeve on it by now. So I'm just inspecting the card for any creases or damages. There's nothing wrong with this card to get the grade that it receives. Look for a video on that. I'll tell you right now on this video, I'm hesitant about sharing what the grade is because it's like a scarlet letter on the card to have this fucking grade that PSA gave it. Which brings me down this whole other line of thought. Like, was it damaged? Did someone do something? I haven't received the card back in my hand, so I don't know yet. But this definitely did concern me. Let's go ahead and transition. More to come on my grade and the Kurt's card care. I want to transition over to Triple Crown did some videos this week that I thought were really, really good. He did one on influencers. Triple Crown 24, if you haven't followed him, great content creator, been around a long time, OG, might be a Hall of Famer. Um, did a video on influencers. He started off by talking about influencers and if influencers want to get sponsors and the natural growth and should they represent companies. And I'll say this too, his video was actually inspired my video I put out a few days ago about what I see when I see influencers who are really leading people into a trap, in my opinion. Like you're recommending a product or a breaker that's a shitty breaker, right? It'd be like who's a Hive card just got caught, not fulfilling their breaks. This is mentioned on Sports Card Radio. If you are a sponsor and you're getting paid by Hive cards and you find out they're not shipping the cards, you should not want to be a sponsor of theirs anymore. You should stop saying, hey, go to their, not that someone's doing that, but that's just an example of you should pay attention to the shit that you're getting paid to do. I have a big problem. I'll be honest. I think vintage breaks is a terrible breaker because they're not even breaking cards. They're just overselling modern retail products. If you think about this, somebody decided it was a smart idea to go buy Panini Monopoly for $29.99 a box and charge $105 a box for it. I just think that's unethical, and I think it's a shitty thing to do. Anyway, Triple Crown did a great video on the influencers, and one thing he made a comment of which I want to correct him. He said he thinks a lot of guys get into this, they start creating content, they get a lot of subscribers, and they realize they can make some money off that. I also believe there are guys who, from the day one, their whole intent was, I'm going to make money off this channel. How do I do that? So the foundation was corrupt, in my opinion, right? And it's not to say that making money is corrupt, but if you are willing to say anything and do anything for monetary, like when it becomes a job, you're more likely to sell out your what you stand for, if that makes sense. So if a content creator's channel was, hey, I want to get as many followers and I'll do anything I can to get as many followers, and they get a lot of followers and then they just start spewing off shit and mentioning every sponsor, that is not a good influencer. And in my opinion, we should call that shit out, right? As good influencers, right? You should say, that's a bad influencer. I don't agree with him. This is freaking YouTube, right? It's not like it's ABC and CBS and you can't compete with each other. I don't know. We can compete. We can call shit out. He did another great video. This is Triple Crown on how to behave at a sports card show. And I'll be honest, I don't attend many to deal. I attend many to network, but I love the conversation of this guy. And it's one that you always hear about. And my takeaway was there are people, professional people, who know that they can bully, they can, you know, just go grab them by the thingy. You know what I'm saying? That's their mentality. Just go grab it. What are they going to do? Tell you no? And they bully their way through deals. My card is worth a lot. I want 100% comps. Your card's crap. I'll pay you 60% comps. That is a very, very common person in the hobby. And we shouldn't be surprised by that. I think it's interesting. Triple Crown says that person's going to burn their bridges. They're going to have less people to work with in the future. I disagree. I think those people thrive in this hobby because the people selling the cards, the people on their side, I think they are more transient. The guy who comes here with the dick attitude that mine's worth 100 and yours worth 60%, he's going to stay here because whether he gets to sell his card at 100, there's somebody probably willing to pay for it eventually. and he's getting 60% from somebody else he's beaten down. So his model, whether we not don't like it or not, it is working. So um, I don't think that's going to change. I will also add to this. I thought it was interesting on this how to behave at a card show theme. Vintage Sports Card Shack did a video about how trade night everyone becomes a dealer, and the next day you think you're still a dealer. I've always found that interesting as well. I've always respected that when I go to a card show, I'm not there to deal. If I'm going to deal, I'm dealing to the dealer. I'm selling wholesale. I'm not trying to get 100% comp value for mine with his. And I'm also not trailing other people I see with cards going, hey, you selling? You want to trade with me? I've never done that. But I do see the market has really changed a lot. And Vintage Card Shack guy even said, are trade nights bad for the hobby? Is it easier just going to trade night? I will tell you this: it's much easier to go to trade night than it is to set up as a booth. Like, why even set up as a booth? To be honest, I do think that maybe the evolution of sports cards in the future is there aren't sports card shows. They're more trading card events, if that makes sense, where everybody can deal and there's just food and location, and you're not buying a table, right? Maybe you're just getting, you pay more to get access to the event. Maybe that's a different way to spin that. I do think that the trade show model is much more opening. In fact, I'll be honest, I don't like the dealer model, right? A lot of these old dealers have been here forever and they feed and take advantage of people, right? Um, they're the ones with the museum pieces. They're the ones offering 60% and you're charging 200% on the sales side. So I say less dealers and more peer-to-peer individuals, more hobbyists. So maybe that's something to think about. Maybe that's and here's why I don't think this taken off is that how do you make money as a promoter going around doing trade nights only? Right? Because a promoter, you're selling something, you charge these guys, you make money. Your customer as promoter is the guys behind the tables. If my customer is now at the door because I'm charging people to come in, that's not going to work very well. Where how do you make money as a promoter in a trade night only scenario? Even if a local card store, right? These local card stores who can host a trade night, they're not doing it off their everybody share. They're just doing it because they have the local card store that's building that they're getting revenue to. They're focusing you to buy product from there or whatever. So it'd be interesting to see, is there a model for a trade card only event with no tables? You can't buy your booths. Okay. Couple notes. The Bronny dual signature autograph Bowman University card sold for 114,000, well under the amount I expected. I said 250 at a high, and I'm very confident around 100,000. So just thought it was interesting. We'll see where that goes from there. Not to be hating on it. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick. I just think, we set some unrealistic expectations and people hype stuff up so much. Let's just be honest. It's called what it is. Like, for $114,000, do you know you could probably go meet LeBron and his son and probably spend a whole evening going out to dinner and events and get several autographs? I mean, you can do a lot with that money. So to pay that much for one card, I just find interesting. And let me even tie it up into this. Where is all the money going for all these people buying cards? Like, I love the chase, and I'm watching people chase the Wimby, and I've been chasing it myself. And I'm thinking to myself, there are not a shortage. And I know they're not rare. I mean, I know they're not like a superly abundant, but there's a lot more silvers, a lot more cracked ices and pink ice because they can print as many as they want to, right? They can print to demand. There's no numbering on those cards. And I think it's funny when I hear Blez telling everybody the best product in the hobby is the NBA Blaster because it has 3 number cards in it. It's an interesting argument because of valuation. I would argue it's still a monopoly box because you have so many cards. But again, the Panini Prism, just as it is, the core product in a blaster, not a hobby product, does give you some amazing hits. Like, why the 99 in a blaster would sell more than the 99 in a hobby, I don't know. But apparently it sold for like $17,000. So where is all this money? Who is spending all this money on Wimby? It's easy. I'll tell you this though, when you see somebody pull a silver, a cracked ice, Wimby, or something green, basically it's $500 cash to that person on average. $500 cash. Probably more if they grade it. If they grade it, it's 1,000. Like, where is all this money coming into the hobby, and when does it go down? Wimby's been continuing upwards, right? So it will be interesting to see where we go. Betting on Otani. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. I'm selling the few Otani cards I have. I've been selling those anyway. I really, it's a sad state. Let me put it this way. I don't think he's innocent. I don't know what you do. Gambling is so rampant and it's so much part of humanity, guys. Sports cards are gambling. Modern hobbies completely sports card gambling. Um, should he be suspended? What will that do to cards? Well, I do admit it won't hurt the market. Like, we're not going to end the hobby doesn't die if a tiny gets suspended. I do think he should face something. I don't know. I just like even someone said the fact his in translator is betting is really bad because his translator has access to information that and then here's the thing, his access to information he's losing. Think about that, right? Um, other news, the local card store. Do you see the video of this guy just pocketing cards? That was absolutely trash. A lot of that going around. I don't know. I mean, these are like adults, the other guy, but the guy down in Miami who was scanned 10 items and tried to walk out with the other 20. What the fuck are you thinking? Like, dude, my target, like if you move the bag, it tells you put the bag back, put the bag back. It's like they got this AI stuff around there and videos. Like, I would never be that dumb. You got a better chance passing a $20 bill to the registered cashier and hoping she doesn't scan a few of your items than you do using the damn checkout. Are you stupid? Not that I'm telling you to do it. I just think that it amazes me. It also goes back to what I said. How many local card store owners out there that we all talk about are such great people are going out to the Walmarts and Targets, buying it. Not only are they buying it, they're trying to get it as cheap as they can so they can probably sell it for 2 or 3x to you, their friends. This is my favorite, right? Come, my friend, come into my house. Let me sell you a box of cards. My brother told me anytime a guy leads up with "come, my friend," you should put that as a red flag and run away. Come, my friend, come into my house. Let me sell you some boxes of cards. So the thieves, the bad actors, I'm not going to beat that up. It's just sad. Um, Eric Whiteback sold his account. And what we're being told is now true real journalism is coming to the hobby. My first comment to that is what all the other guys weren't real journalists, like they weren't giving us real news. I'm just teasing. I like the way the hobby is. I like the way information comes out. I will say this: what concerns me is information in the hobby is valuable, and if Rovell gets it first, that could concern me. Like if and we're talking about like access to drops, when a certain drop's going to happen, what platform the drop's going to be on, new products, new promotions, what cities they're coming to. That's all important information. It'd be nice. I guess I'm not excited for this Rovell thing, but at the same time, I don't want what the community is doing by reporting news to stop. And I don't discount other people's newsworthiness. Now I go, a lot of people make clickbait shit or they talk out their ass, but again, keep it coming. I'll filter out what I don't like. Uh, Dustin made that quick little video about how doesn't everybody want to be Eric Whiteback? Doesn't everybody want to sell their account? No, no. And I think, Dustin, that kind of proved my point earlier when I said I think some people, when they started their YouTube experience back in 2020, their entire purpose was, I want to sell my YouTube account. Right. I'll put it this way. Eric, I know, started, and it's not even Eric, but Eric started as a Supreme influencer. And then apparently that wasn't working enough because Supreme started not being popular anymore. So he goes over and jumps on the sports card world in 2020 and became the collector's guru, which I find interesting. And then he sold out. So and selling out again, I don't blame him. I mean, the young man made a bunch of money, walk away from it. Who cares, right? Um, but call yourself a collectible guru to steal so much content. I mean, that is the hobby, right? That's the actors in the hobby. Let me remind you, the hobby is the people, and a lot of the bad ones stay here. They thrive here because there is no punishment. There's no removal. Most of the hobbyists, I feel like, come in, they get disgusted, disgruntled, upset, burned, and they leave. And I think that's a constant model of the hobby, right? You have the hardcore grifters and you have the noobs. I'm could be totally wrong. You tell me. Let me see. What do I want to end on? Biggest hit of my life. So I will say I've seen a lot of people posting that, but they pull these Wimby cards like biggest hit of my life. This is life changing, or gonna go on vacation. I counted my chickens before they were in hatch. I thought my Victor Wembanyama 0110 was going to be a big card that I could. And I'll be honest, I want to sell it and I want to buy some more Monopoly, and I wanted to buy a little PC Wemby card. I want to continue doing what I'm doing, just devouring product and having fun. And my PSA grade on that, which I'm not going to share with you, I'm going to put that in another video, um, was a complete kick in the dick. Really was. And it puts you in an ethical dilemma on what do you do when you get a bad grade on a card? Do you send it off to get cleaned and waxed by a professional and resubmit it? Do you, um, and this is one thing, I honestly think it was damaged by PSA. We'll talk more about that later. Can you make a claim? Is there anything I can do, any recourse? Or was it the factory's mistake? Did they make a factory bad card? Could the factory replace it? I don't know. That's kind of how I feel. The fourth option, I guess, is that you can just eat the card and it is what it is. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate all the subscribers that joined this week. Man, hope you enjoy Hobby Now. Again, every week we do a live show either on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. Next Wednesday, it's with Mike Ham, Breaking Bad. Following Tuesday, so two weeks from yesterday, In the Paint with ERB. And don't forget to check out Flipping Steve and register or get involved in his contest. Like, comment, subscribe.